Yeah, it's cold and flu season, but there are lots of reasons why you might get a sore throat. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Hi, Karla here. Welcome back to my channel where I like to find the fun and magic in everyday things. Today, I want to show you how to make the best lozenge for sore throats, no matter what the cause. They are super easy to make, taste delicious, and work like magic. You're going to want to keep them year round. So come on, let me show you and let's go have some fun. So I did mention these magical sore throat lozenges were super easy to make, right? Well, that's because there's no cooking, no real measurements, and only 2 ingredients. Ah, that got your attention, didn't it? Now the 2 ingredients are slippery elm powder and honey. Now let me introduce you to slippery elm. Slippery elm is a tree native to North America and has been used for centuries for its medicinal properties, particularly for its effectiveness in soothing sore throats. Slippery elm powder is made from the inner bark of the tree, and that inner bark is then collected, dried, and then ground into a fine powder, and that is used for a variety of medicinal purposes. Now, what makes this inner bark so special is that it contains a gel-like substance that, when mixed with water or honey, it releases its soothing, slippery properties. Hence the name slippery elm. Slippery elm has many benefits besides soothing sore throats and coughs. It can also help with digestive issues like acid reflux and gastritis due to its soothing properties. Now that's for another video. We're soothing sore throats today. Now, of course, if you're taking prescribed medications, always check with your doctor first. It's better to be safe than sorry. Now let's talk about the first ingredient, slippery elm powder. Now I bought mine from Mountain Rose Herbs, but you can find yours on Amazon. I recommend Star West Botanicals. They're on Amazon, and so you can get it relatively quickly. I'll leave links in the description box to help you get started. The important thing to remember is, number 1, it needs to be organic. Number 2 is you don't want slippery elm extract powder, not extract. That's a totally different animal. That's not what you want. You just want 100% slippery elm powder, organic. The second ingredient is honey. I recommend you use a local raw honey. Some people like to use a manuka honey for its additional health benefits. Your choice. I made a sage-infused honey. Super easy. I took local raw honey to me, added fresh sage leaves, and let that infuse for at least a month. All right, enough chit-chat. Let me show you how it's done. So here's what we're working with. Normally, I make these lozenges with just slippery elm powder and honey, and everybody loves them. They taste sort of like sugar cookie dough. They're just delicious. But I was feeling a little bit extra, so I decided to make 2 batches. One with added ginger for a little kick, and another batch with a little cinnamon. As I mentioned earlier, there are no real measurements. You just adjust the proportions to your taste. However, I suggest that you start small and increase as you go. And when you're ready, then add the honey. Now, I love the honey I made because I added the medicinal properties of the sage without the sage's overpowering taste. Again, I recommend adding a little honey at a time until you find that right consistency for the dough. Now, if it gets too sticky, just add more slippery elm powder. Think of it like flour when you're making biscuits. You can form your lozenges any way you'd like. Sometimes I form them into flattened balls, and sometimes I form them into squares. Now for the ginger lozenges, I made squares, and for the cinnamon lozenges, I made the flattened balls. That sounds funny. Once formed, let them dry for a day or two. How long it takes for them to dry will depend on how thick they are. Then store them in the fridge, and they'll keep for at least 6 months. Pretty easy, right? And like I said, they really work like magic. All right, guys, till next time.